Right, hello everyone. Welcome to round 5 of the Tier 2 Championship. We're at Britain today. Britannia, blah, whatever the rest is. I don't know it. I'm not English. But today we are well, we're on round 5. We had a good round in Mexico last time. Actually, let me just check out De Silva that you can hear me, because I ain't got a clue. How do I... Where's YouTube? I'm doing it on my own today.
Forza Ferrari.
Kieran has left me on my own. How very nice of him. Right. You can hear me.
We hear ya.
Awesome. Thank you. Right. Let me quickly nip to the Discord. Discord. Come on. Is Brock joining? I don't know. Tier 2, perfect. Absolutely brilliant. Save image. Desktop. Save. OBF1 tier 1. Save image. Tier 1. Desktop. Thank you for the thumbnails, Retho. That means a lot. I can make the stream look pretty. Right, Britain. No, I don't. Go back to YouTube Studio. What's going on? Right, ready up, peoples. Ready up.
No problem.
Ready up. I'm very unprepared. Most of them have heard me, so. I can't even do the atoms.
Give me a minute and a phone and I'll fix it.
Fix what? I'm confused. What are we phoning in and fixing? YouTube Studio. Details. Upload thumbnail. Tier 2. Beautiful. And save changes. Come on. Wow, this PC is so slow, you know. Is it saved? Oh, it was saved. Thanks, PC. Made me look like a fool. I'm gonna do that. Oh, you meant, yeah, you're a legend for that. A player in your group has started a party? Well, no, mate. Of course they have. Well, I'm not going to join because I'm doing comms. At tier 2, I've just tagged at tier 2. That's why nobody's listened. I thought I typed ready up as well. I'm gonna quickly invite Brock as well. So, where is he? This is gonna be like, look for the broccoli. I was gonna call him broccoli. The broccoli. Where is it? Search. Oh, mate, I can't find him. Is he on even online? Yeah. There. Send him another invite just in case. Right, let's carry on with the stream. Right. Invite waiting. Right. So we're underway for quali now as I focus on the actual race and less on the Discord. We're getting underway for qualifying. I don't believe there's any cars out on track or left the garage yet. There's not. Okay, perfect. So I got time to... No, I don't want the telemetry data, do I? I want the track map. Give me the tyre statuses as well. We have got a car in the background going out. I believe it is the Haas. I've been sent something. Oh. I'm gonna use that first thumbnail right though, just because I haven't got time to log into Discord and stuff because qualifying's already underway as we have Liam and Aeon X Blades out on circuit. Obviously Liam ahead. So he'll be starting his lap first by the looks of things. Before he starts his lap, I hope he's been hydrated by some Lucasade. Hashtag ad, hashtag sponsor. Not really. We're not sponsored by Lucasade. I kind of wish we were. That'd be cool. Sorry, I got distracted by someone talking about me, but Liam is on his lap. Ubo is talking to me about a penalty. My last race, you guys gave me quite banned, and I didn't race in Mexico, so am I allowed to go out and qualify? Right, that's fine. Disqualified from the session for going the wrong way in a qualifying. Must have been a spin there. That's unlucky there, but Team Red. Oh, that's just a note saying he was disqualified. There was supposed to be 16, 17 drivers. One had to pull out the last minute, and well, one should be joining through qualifying, hopefully. But Liam is going to be the first one to set a qualifying lap time. No, remember it is only the first lap, so it's probably not going to be the best lap you're going to see. It's just a rough banker lap. As you can see, set a 129.579 is the benchmark for these people to beat. As Pistol has crashed and retired, so he will be starting out the back. Ubo is in the pits. Right, so we've got 2 out so far. Pistol, DNF. We got Sanchez, who set the fastest lap. We're going to ride aboard someone who hasn't. Who's coming across the line next? It looks like Super Calgon. But Mosh, behind him, is going to set his first lap time. A Super Calgon gets out the way, I believe. That's going to slow him down on his first lap. But Mosh, 129.4. Good enough for P5 there. We'll stick on board with Super Calgon as he sets his lap on the medium. We have got a full wet race, I believe, so it's going to be quite interesting to see how the drivers are going to handle this track in the wet. Never mind the dry. Maggots and Beckett's is difficult in the dry if your setup is wrong. Imagine what it's going to be like in the wet. But Super Calgon has invalidated, so this lap will not count for the guy. Super Calgon, Ubo's on a penalty, he can't set a qualifying time. Invader is out on his out lap. Neil Moza goes to 128.9. Kenna, I completely missed Kenna. He has set the fastest lap so far and is fastest still coming through sector 1. Now it's going to be interesting. Can he improve on this second lap? He most likely can, but it's all going to come down to whose setup can handle Maggots and Beckett's the best. Ubo has retired. We're not too worried about that, as that was in the pit lane, serving his quali ban for not providing any footage during an incident review, which drivers are required to do. We'll look at Super Calgon. Maybe he's on another lap. He is not yet, but he will be. So Super Calgon, James and Invader, the only drivers so far that's still in it. Still to set a lap time. It's going to be interesting. What kind of lap time can Super Calgon pull, as there's a Williams moving slowly out near the pit exit? That would be Aeon, as well, he's the only Williams still on track at the minute. It's going to be very interesting, you know, to see how this race is going to be in the wet. Super Calgon 128.9 puts his Alpine in a P6 position. Setting the laps on the mediums, I'm not exactly sure why you'd want to set the laps on the medium if it's going to be raining, which I've been told it is, unless it's not actually raining.
Who do you think will win?
Well, Raytho, I'm not sure at the minute who I think will win. Because obviously I've been told that it's a wet race, but maybe I've been told that to throw me off a bit on my predictions.
1279 is decent.
1279.
Wet race, emojis.
That is a decent lap time, a 1279. It's about my pace, to be fair, actually, I think, around this track. I'm not very good at Silverstone. But, back to
I
who do
made a whoopsie, 1 second isn't bad though.
It's going to be interesting, obviously, in the dry. I know Liam is normally up there. Neil, James, they're normally up there. Kenna's up there as well. Invader can be up there if he's having a good day. Raytho is as well, sometimes when he has a good day. Well, yourself, because you asked the question. But if he's having a very good day, he'd get a podium. Mank is sometimes up there when he feels like it. Aeon Blades I haven't seen up on the podium yet, I don't believe.
Big
He
up
might
Mosher.
be. Mosh, he's got his slower reactions than everyone else, so I don't think he's going to be able to handle the wet. Sorry, Mosh.
I am full dry setup. Team Red, emoji face with tears of joy.
Right, so
Wasted.
Michael is Team Red. Got it.
He is legend.
But yeah, have I missed much? Let's have a look. James is up on his previous time, but do you want to be up on your previous time? Because you want to English. You want to run. You want to run a wet setup in quali, even if you're off the pace. You'll have the advantage in the race, which, if like Team Red has done.
Mosher to finish 3 RD, me to finish 5th.
Yeah, so it's like Team Red has done. He's got a dry setup on, and it's raining. So Pete is putting in the chat Mosh to finish 3rd and himself to finish 5th. That's if you can keep it out the wall. Only jokes. Only jokes. Broccoli is on his outlap. I was about to say he's still to set a lap time. The only driver not to yet. Bless him, he woke up late. Because of the time change. He's from
Traction
Australia.
assist helps he full track for race.
Right, okay.
Diff up or down for wet?
I haven't got a clue, mate. I just wing it.
I've heard both.
I think diff up is better for wet, personally. You're longer on the throttle, like on the. It takes longer to get on the throttle, but it feels better.
I use full traction for wet, but medium for dry.
Right, hold on.
Siren, you are a legend.
Cheers, mate. I don't know why I am, but fair enough. Right, so Broccoli, let's have a look. He's invalidated, but Mank's retired from the session. Is he happy with his lap?
Because you are awesome.
Do you want to kiss any more, ass Pete? Nah, I'm joking. Cheers, mate. Broccoli, still to set a lap time. How has he got Monster Energy on his lid?
Emoji face with tears of joy. Emoji face with tears of joy.
I want to know how he's got Monster Energy on his lid. How has he done that?
Yes, Marcus, please.
Yeah. Yeah, fair enough, yeah, because he's driving Bottas's car, and because he joined late. That makes sense. Right, Sanchez is still out on a lap. I thought he actually had that on his own helmet. I'm so stupid. So Sanchez looking like a good lap here. Is he going to be Invader with the 127.9 though? Is it going to be quick enough? He comes across the line with a 128. It's not quick enough. He's down by 0.3 of a second. Oh no. Super Calgon has retired from this session in Sector 1. At the end of the pit lane, it looks like. That's a weird incident there.
Tires up or down for wet? Lol. I need maximum help here.
Tires down means you've got more friction with the surface, so you've got better traction, less slip. I'd put rear tires all the way down. Also helps with tire temps. It keeps temperatures in the wheel carcass. Front tires, it depends. If you want it turning in more, I'd put them up slightly, but not too much.
Higher for max speed. Thanks, emoji folded hands, light skin tone.
I'd say for this track, I'd put, I don't know, maybe two or three notches to the left for the front, and the rear all the way to the left. That's what I tend to do. I really hope Tier 1 is not raining, because I am terrible in the rain. Right, Broccoli, we're right on board with him, as he is yet to set the outlap.
That's great, thanks.
No problem, man. The time trial. Qualifying time. He hasn't set a qualifying time. He's got Marsh in front of him. Maybe he can use Marsh for a little bit of tow. Maybe not. But that's got to remember, he hasn't started his lap yet, so he has got people behind him on laps, like Kenner, for example, who he has just let past. We've got James, who is invalidated. We got Marsh on an outlap behind, Ratho in the pits. There's a car going past Mosh. I think it's Kenner, isn't it? It is Kenner. He's invalidated as well. Liam on an outlap, just come out the pits. Come through Maggots and Beckett, sorry. Hasn't just come out the pits, my mistake. But we're right on board with Broccoli as he crosses the line for the start of his, hopefully his first official lap time. Takes turn 1 early, nice there, not doesn't take too much curb to invalidate, brakes very late for turn 3, which he does nicely. Loses the rear end. There's a bit of internet problems, which is bound to be expected due to the fact he's racing in Australia. Normally it's pretty good though. Comes down the Wellington Straight now with his DRS wide open. Obviously you want to brake late and turn in late here. Massive on trail brake in that corner there. If you can know how to do trail braking and perfect that corner, you're on for a good lap. Takes the line very weirdly there. That's the internet though, so it's the connection he's got compared to us. So yeah, there's this car spot in Sector 1. I think it is Kenner. So Sector 1 and 2 yellow flags. So there. We've got Maggots and Beckett's now. Neil Moss has retired from the session. That's very interesting. We're coming through Maggots and Beckett's. He looks pretty smooth. Now coming through the final couple of corners. Doesn't invalidate. It's quite easy to take it wide there if you carry too much speed into that corner. Now this was very easy to lose the rear end, which he does slightly, but manages to keep the car in check with a 128.5. Puts his Mercedes in P7, and I just realised that was lap needed to be perfect. He couldn't invalidate that lap because it is the end of qualifying. But Kenner, never mind, he's 16 seconds down. Obviously he's had a spin, but Invader coming in the pit as well, so that is the end of qualifying. So your top 10 are Invader, Mosh, Sanchez, Aeon Blades, Kenner, James, Liam, Broccoli, and Ratho. And then you got your bottom 15, bottom 5 of Mank, Neil, bottom 6 including the 10, Mank, Neil, Super Calgon, Pistol Racing, Ubet, and Team Red. We're expecting a wet race. There we go. I was wondering what was happening then, but it's all good. It's all good. It's all good. The fastest lap is Invaders 127. I'll take a picture of that. I'll need that later. Let's have a clean race now, guys. Let's get it on. I was gonna do something, but I can't remember what it was. Oh, I remember. I'll do it as the guys are selecting. Oh, while it's loading, actually. So I wasn't being played by the guys. It is a wet race. It's a full wet race by the looks of it. Obviously, Broccoli leads mechanic sitting next to some full wet. So I'm assuming that's the tyres he's going to use. I'm assuming that's the tyres everyone is going to use. But it is raining. But is it going to stay wet? If someone could tell me before the race starts, I'd very much appreciate that.
Full wet hole race.
Cheers, Rather. That means... So it's a full wet race. Mitch has started a party. Why has Mitch started a party? Has he... He's probably prepping himself later. We got 5 red lights. And... away we go for the Tier 2 Championship. It's a very slow start. Invader loses the rear end. He's gone into a wall. He's out of the race. He's retired. Was there a lot of traction, or did he get hit from behind? There's a Mercedes spinning in the background. There's a lot of contact here in turn 1. Obviously, this caused by the wet conditions, but we do have a VSC, so there is no overtaking. I don't really know what's going on, but there's a lot of people driving slow. There's a 5-second time penalty for a collision with James. 4 speeding. Ken has overtaken. So we're 30 seconds into the race and we've already got a VSC. That is not a great start from the guys. But Mosh has jumped up to P1. So it's a good start there for Mosh. He's jumped up 1 space, but the biggest jump up so far is Liam. Liam and Team Red both jumping up 3 positions. Invader lost 14. He is out of the race, sadly. I'm not sure what happened to him, but he is now out of the race. And there are a few penalties to go around. They're all 5-second time penalties. And if they're for collisions under safety car, well, we can't remove them, can we? We are green flag, though. I want to find out what happened. I know we are racing, but I want to find out what happened. So, we're coming into the final corner now to start lap 2. And the predicted strategy is wet. With Marsh setting the fastest lap of the race. Ratho is pitting. Obviously he's got some damage then. But James on the back of Aeon, who is also on the back of Liam, looking to make a move here. Obviously taking it very easy due to the wet conditions. Is he going to be able to gain, maybe make a move? I can't tell you. But what I can tell you is, Mosh is now leading this race. It's very difficult to overtake in the wet, so if Mosh can get the pit strategy right, he might win this race. Brock and Lily pitting as well. Looks like it was damage for them. But they're both coming out of the pits. This pit lane is very difficult, as you can see there. Brock's struggling to come out of the pit. Hopefully, the wet doesn't catch too many of these guys out, as Pete is on the back of Mank. Is he going to be able to make a move? Where are we on track? Coming through Maggots and Beckett's now. So, is he going to be able to make a move? No, it doesn't look likely. He is falling back slightly. It is only slightly though, so we have got a long straight to catch up. Right, so Invader did lose the rear end. And as Kenner and James, a side by side, Neil gets the position on Kenner. That was great racing there. Through a very difficult corner to overtake, especially in the wet. It was a great move there. I'm trying to look, the gaps are starting to create now. There are some gaps showing as Ubo and Calgon's in the wall. Super Calgon is in the wall. He's lost his front wing. That's the second virtual safety car in, well, we've had one lap of green racing. So that is going to help Mosh, who is currently leading the race. Hopefully that is the last of our safety cars. But it is wet, so it's likely to be more than that. While we're here under right, PSN ID, give me a second.
Go on, Mosher.
We're gonna copy that text. We're still under yellow flag conditions. So we are green flag again. Mosh still leading this race. He is under pressure from Sanchez though. It's only quite a close gap, and the gap is closing. Will Mosh keep the lead until the pit window? Will any drivers choose to do a no-stop? Esteban Ocon done it in Hungary. The regulations allow a no-stop. Will any drivers go for a no-stop? That is the question. This rain does not look like it's going to
Forza Azuri from your wee bro in Dublin.
Hey, what is Forza? Am I dumb, or do I not know what Forza Azuri is? I want to go to Dublin. That's a cool place. It seems like a cool place anyway. I've never actually been there, but I want to go there. It's nice to know where our viewers or drivers are from as well, so nice to know we have some from outside of the mainland UK. Obviously Northern Ireland's still in the UK, but it's not on the mainland. Not much going on in terms of overtakes or battles.
Dublin is 810 a pint.
8 euros. What's that in pounds? Hey Google, how much is 8?
Mosher is in Kilmarnock in Scotland.
Mosher's in Scotland. Mosh, didn't know you were Scottish, mate. Go on. Do it for the Scots. Right, back to the action. Oh, actually, I think I did know he was Scottish. I don't know. I probably did. Team Pistols in the pits. Going very slowly. Sticking to that 37-mile-an-hour speed limit. It's quite a slow pit stop, this one, and it's a very long pit. So that's going to hurt him. And maybe he's doing the early stop. Going to the... and trying to catch these drivers out. Maybe he could get some good time from this. I kind of want to see if he's changing his wing. Is he just driving through? I don't know if he stopped. I think he just changed his tyres by the looks of it. No, he did just drive straight through the pit. He must have had a drive-through. I missed that come up on the screen. Right, back to the action. Sanchez now falling nearly a second behind Mosh. Not that that's going to pay an advantage in DRS or anything, because that it is deactivated. I want to know what 8.10U... I don't know what... Is it cents? It's not cents, is it? No. I don't know. But I'm gonna Google this, because I want to know how much that is in sterling.
Nearly 7 a pint.
Jesus.
1.5 for a tea and scone.
£7 for a pint. Well, our pints are expensive as well, to be fair. Thank you for that information. I know to save quite a bit if I'm going to Dublin. But the two McLarens are currently fighting each other as we come to the final corner. Neil and James, obviously, Mank and Kenner are switching places as well. But back to the McLarens. Neil's falling far, well, not far, but he's falling behind again. Maybe he's a bit slow through this section of the track compared to his teammate, or maybe the that long straight.
I'm Mosher's brother-in-law.
You're his brother-in-law. Damn. See, the more you know, the more you know. I didn't know that. I can see why you're supporting him. Well, at the minute, he's doing you proud. He's in P1. Sanchez has closed the gap slightly a bit, but he is still in P1 as we have a yellow flag for I don't know why there was a yellow flag. I think was Brock's lost his wing. That's going to be painful. He's going to have to do a lap with no front wing. It's going to be painful for Brock. That's going to give Super Calagon a chance to gain a position. Obviously, only one driver out of this race so far. We are only 6 laps in, though. There's still 20 laps to go. As Brock clearly gets his 3-second time penalty, that wing really hurting him. He's finding it very hard to turn and stick to the track limits. But so far, a very calm race. Not too much action for these drivers. Neil still closing on his teammate, as Sanchez has closed quite significantly up to Mosh. Mosh still has a ton of ERS. Obviously, it's very hard to use the ERS in the rain. It's a lot easier to save in the rain. Do you know what would be cool if the spray was like it was in real life? That would be so cool. But Sanchez, obviously Mosh looking for an optimum line. I think Mosh is finding it difficult with the track, how wet the track is, and it's not drying up at all. Obviously you can see the dry line, but I don't think it's going to help as there is contact. Aeonic Blades is around. Was there contact with anyone, or is he just spun? Because he still got his wing. I think he just spun trying to push too hard. But that means Neil has closed the gap on his teammate again. He is right behind him. Mank is falling back a bit from them two.
Forza Azzurri means come on the blues, shouted by the Italian fans.
There we go. Brock Lilly in a wall again. So I know what Forza Azzurri means now. Neil providing all this great information to me. 10 limits for track limits after a spin. and speeding in the pit lane. Brock Lilly has retired from the race. So Zivian has missed the race. Obviously this I just gotta deal with this issue a second, sorry. Right, I'm back. So, Zivian missed the race due to the daylight saving times. Obviously, the clocks have changed by an hour, and he's been caught out by it, which means he's missed this race, sadly. So, the front pack still quite close to each other. Obviously, James and Neil have actually swapped positions. I missed that probably when I was trying to discuss with Zivian how he missed the race. Amit Shaban has joined. How was he joined? He didn't even say he could race. I hope that doesn't mess the lobby up, because... well, we're already 9 laps into the race. He didn't say he could race. He didn't check in or out. I mean, we should have 17 anyway. Yeah. Okay. We have a... sip on my Lucasade. Neil Mazda with the time penalty. Mosh got a time penalty. I missed that. Let's have a look at the time penalty situation since we're on about penalties, shall we? So we got Mosh with 3-second time penalty. If he's going to win this race, he wants to pull a massive gap from Sanchez. Liam with 8 seconds. Neil with 8 seconds. As I talk about Neil, he's right on the back of Liam. He's going to be looking to make a move. Can he do it in this corner? He can't. Can he try and make a move into the couple of final corners? Obviously, it's probably one of the easier places to make a move, but it is difficult on traction, so you don't want to mess it up. He doesn't look like he's made a move. Nah, he hasn't. He's still behind Liam as they come through the last corner into turn 1. There's a sector flag in yellow 3. A car's gone round. It is a Mercedes. It is Kenner. So he's going to be off the track. Let's hope he doesn't get time penalty when we join in. He doesn't, luckily. I know the game has been doing that recently. It's quite strange. But so far, the only battle on track so far is these 3. As we have another yellow flag. Kenner's spun again. His tyres are probably... well, I wouldn't even say his tyres are too hot, because they're going to cool down pretty much rapidly in these conditions, as Neil is really close to the rear of that Haas, as Liam has caught up to Sanchez. I didn't even realise this. I was caught up in that battle so much, and that spin by Kenner, that I didn't even realise that Liam has caught up to Sanchez, and Sanchez has dropped 3 seconds behind the Ferrari of Mosh. So Mosh now actually pulling that gap that he needs to. As the drivers in the back get another time penalty at the back. Pete with 6 seconds, Rather with 3. Obviously Brock Lillius retired. He got like 15 seconds worth of penalties and thought, nah, I've had enough. So I don't blame him. Neil will get it very close now to the back of that Haas. Anything else going on track? Let's have a look. So there's still this big battle for, well, this, maybe Mank can even join in this battle now for 2nd place. As Liam has dropped back a bit. So Liam, obviously battling with Neil, has fallen back from Sanchez. Sanchez is closing again on Mosh. So I think Liam did slow Sanchez down a bit, but Sanchez is free again. But Mosh, currently keeping cool, calm and collected, he is still in P1. We're 11 laps into this race. 2 of these laps were served under a VSC. But Mosh still in the lead. And still got a pit to go, so it's not so bad here. It's going to be interesting to see who actually comes out on top of this race. Obviously Mosh with the penalties. Can he pull a 3-second gap to 2nd place? And I keep an eye on Liam and Neil as they are still battling. Obviously this is the closest battle we have on circuit at the minute. James at the back of the battle. And well, Mank's fallen back to a 2nd now, but he is trying to keep up with them. It'll be interesting to see if he can make it a 1, 2, 3, 4, a 5-car battle for 3rd. Well, 3-car battle, 4-car battle. Sorry, for 3rd. It's going to be interesting to see. Someone spun in Sector 1. Oh no, Mosh! Mosh was off the circuit. Mosh has spun, and he's lost the lead of the race, giving Sanchez P1. I guess he lost a little bit of traction in his. Pete has retired from the race. How has he done that now? He's retired in the pit, so Pete's not gonna finish this race, which means we have 12 drivers left. So Super Calgon, now that Pete's retired, has been promoted to P12. It's going to be really interesting now to see where this race finishes, as Super Calgon looks very slow through Sector 1. He's taking it extremely easy, obviously trying not to spin. He's already far back from the others. How far back is he from the leader?
I stopped receiving warnings for track limits. I just can't race like that.
I stopped receiving warnings for track limits. Strange. As Mosh gets a 5-second time penalty to add salt to the wounds for speeding in the pit lane. He is pitting early though. He's going to get off these old sets. This old set of tyres. He's going to put some new ones on. He is good on the wets. So
WXactili.
Maybe the game's bugged. I don't know. Could be from when Ahmed joined mid-session, but it's not a game-ending thing. It's only warnings. It's pretty obvious to tell when you have gone through track limits anyway. Sometimes the track limits are a bit bull here on this game. But Super Calagon a minute from the leader, so he's going to have to do a mind-blowing strategy to make that time up. I'm not sure what he can do, but Marsh now up to P8. Battling with Team Red. Team Red obviously was asking for help with strategy earlier on in the chat. And now he's currently in P9. He's still in the points. Penalty situation still allows him to stay in the points as well. Well, Mosh, 11 seconds worth of time penalties though after that speed in the pit lane and the track limits. So it's not going to help him, as Liam has now jumped into the pits, which promotes Neil. Sanchez has dropped down to 4th. He's pitted as well, which promotes the two McLarens up to 1st and 2nd. I'm not sure what's stronger. I don't know if the undercut or the overcut is stronger here. So it's going to be interesting to see after these two pit, well, these three pit, where they're going to end up. We've got Ubo in P4, Ube in P4, sorry. 4 seconds behind Mank, who is only a couple of seconds behind James. So it's going to be interesting to see where exactly all these guys end up. But currently a race leader is Neil Moser. It's been a while since Neil Moser has won a race. I think he'd love to do it here at Silverstone. I believe it's his home race. It's also the home race of OBF1, so there's Liam and Moshe battling here. So Moshe's got ahead of Liam. So he's making places up after that little spin he had. Will he be able to get back onto the podium and stay there? That's the question that's on everyone's mind that's watching right now. Can he sit on the podium and win this race with his extreme amount of penalties he has? All he's got to do is master these wet conditions, get used to it, and then he's in the lead. The only question I have is, or the only statement I have is, please don't rain in Tier 1, because I ain't good in the wet. It's going to be interesting to see. Super Calgon as well with a 3-second time penalty, multiple track limit warnings. He's already got a few, so that's going to hurt him even more when it comes to his finishing position at the end of the race. But while there is a big gap between all of the cars, bar Liam and Mosh, if you are watching and you're enjoying the content and you want to support us, just click that subscribe button. It's completely free. It's not going to harm you. We won't bite for hitting that, for hitting the like button. Also, leave a like. Every like helps. 1 like will stop Mosh from receiving penalties. Trust me. If you like this video, this live stream, sorry, Mosh won't receive any more penalties. Don't forget to share it as well. Obviously, we've got big things planned in this league. We want Neil Moser sets the fastest lap in the wet with a 1:41. That's a decent lap there from Neil Moser. Still hasn't pitted. But Aeon Blades comes out and he beats Neil Moser to that fastest lap. And sets a much quicker lap time. Sanchez beat it. The track's getting faster by the looks of it. Sanchez has now set the fastest lap, as Pete has left the session. Obviously he's already DNF'd, so there's not too much to worry about there. But there is a spun car of Aeon after setting the fastest, well, after trying to set the fastest lap. Sanchez beating it, and fair enough, if the track's getting quicker and he's on the gonna have more grip. But the field is separated now. by more than a second. Closest gap is Liam on Mosh, but Mosh is pulling nicely away from Liam. There's not much really that's going on. Liam closing in again. Obviously getting the feel for these new tyres. So this is looking good for the McLaren boys. Obviously the McLaren boys have to pit. Oh, well, they don't have to pit really. They could do a 0 stop to the end. And if they do, then Jesus Christ, hats off to the guys. But both of them still on the tyres they started on. This could be a great... It's going to be... I'm baffled. They could be going to the end. They could be fully going to the end, these two. Well, even Uber, Mank could be going to the end. And if Mank can keep up with them two, that's got a good chance of nicking the top step off them. But obviously we've got the newer drivers. Not the newer drivers, we've got the drivers that have pitted. And P6 closing up. Obviously, Aeon's 11 seconds back from Uber, and Sanchez is only 2 seconds behind, so he's going to close the gap on him so very soon. He's got quite a bit of time to make up Sanchez though, so keep an eye on Sanchez to nick a step on this podium. He's only got a 5-second time penalty, so there's every chance he can get a good position here. As we currently have Mank. Liam gets a 3-second time penalty as well. How many time penalties has Liam got? Liam's got 6. So he's still got to close a gap as Aeon has now pitted. He will be fitting the some fresh wets on. Kenna with a 3-second time penalty, but Mank is closing on the back of James. James could be struggling now on these tyres. Obviously it is possible to do. Marsh up to P6. Liam up to P7, Kenner up to P8. Will Team Red beat Aeon? No, I don't think he will. It's going to be close. So Team Red is still behind, but they are close. They are very close. I mean, there's a possibility Neil could pit now and still catch up to Mank. But is it worth the risk when there's only a couple of laps left? These tyres could go to the end, I'm assuming, because these drivers aren't pitting. I want to see what kind of... I'm going to ride on board with Neil for this lap, just to see how he handles it, and hope he doesn't spin due to a commentator's curse. But riding on board, we'll see how the lap looks. I'm going to keep quiet just so you can hear the roar of the engine. There's a yellow flag, there's a spin in sector 1. I believe it was Uber. So that was a lap for Borden Neal, obviously in the silence, just to see how he handled these conditions. And well, if I do say so, he's handled them pretty well. Tyre penalties, he's on 8 seconds, his teammate has 1 more second's worth of penalties. Just the 1 second, so that could play a part in the race. We don't know for sure. If you're just tuning in, don't forget to like and subscribe, really helps this channel out. And the highlights will be out in the weekend if you want to see the short version of this race. But so far in this race we've had 2 VSCs and that's it. We had it on lap 1 and lap 3. And it's been green flag since. Obviously we get the odd yellow flag for a spun car. Was that Uber again? It was not. It was another car. It was Team Red who took a little spin there, and we'll just say he was warming his tyres. As Aeon and Kenner are switching places. Kenner's spun, so Team Red now up another place after the spin in. That's fortune cookie luck, that is. But Liam has closed the gap within a second of Mosh. Will he be able to get the place off Mosh? I think he's already ahead of him if we go off the penalties. Yes, he is. But you know, as a driver, you want to beat them on track. So Liam is going to want to make a move on Mosh if he wants to beat him on track. Mosh does have more ERS, although his light is flashing, so I'm assuming he's used it all for this lap. No. It looks like he's still got something going to his dash. Ooh, Mosh makes a little bit of a mistake, gets another time penalty there. That could be perfect there for Liam to keep up and get into the slipstream. Obviously, he doesn't want to be too close. He doesn't want that dirty air to make him spin, but there's a possibility that dirty air can do that to you. But so far it's been a pretty quiet race for these drivers. Obviously we had the 3 DNFs. Brock and Pete were in the pit lane. Invader was at the start of the race, the very start. He caused the first VSC. He got it due to spinning off the line. So he tried to...
Those penalties are getting ridiculous.
The penalties are getting ridiculous, but it is notoriously hard to stay in the track limits, especially when you got games like Assetto Corsa or GT Sport or GT7 for the example, where if you break track limits but you don't improve your time, you won't get a penalty. But in this game, even if you break track limits, you get a penalty. No matter if you gain or lose time, you'll still get a penalty, which is stupid. I think that needs fixing, really. It should be like other games and it should be a little bit more realistic in terms of you should only be penalised if you gain time. That's how I think it should be. Talking about penalties, 2 other drivers just got penalties. But yeah, I think this game is very unfair in terms of how it hands out the penalties for track limits.
Imagine how much Lewis Hamilton would complain.
Oh, his radio would be on for the full race. So Liam gets really close to the back of Mosh. Obviously taking it very easy through this section. Very, well, it's not the grippiest section even in the dry this, so it's notoriously difficult in the wet. Obviously that's why Liam's falling back. He's finding it a little bit harder through that section than Mosh. But Liam does gain on the straights. It'd be interesting to see if any of these drivers are using dry setups. I know Team Red is. He used a dry setup in the quali, so he's probably added a couple of notch of wings. But it's interesting to see, as we have Sanchez on the back of Uber at the minute as well. Within 3 tenths now, well 3.5 tenths. Obviously no DRS because of the rain. Is he going to make a move into a couple of the final corners, or is he going to wait? It's going to be interesting to see. Obviously drivers using a higher ride height, you can tell by this how high the rear end of that AlphaTauri is coming up. His ride height must be at least 7 or 8 on the rear. I think it's maybe 3 or 4 on the front, just to avoid the puddles, because that will slow the car down on the setup. Very close now to Uber. Is he gonna make a move at the end of this straight coming up, the Wellington straight? He's fallen back a bit. It's going to be interesting. He doesn't make a move. He wasn't close enough. So he's fallen back now. He's fallen back again. But by God, Neil and James, Mount and Uber are doing it. They are doing this race without pitting. I've never seen it done in a league race. I've only actually seen it done in Turkey, and when the regulations just allowed changing tyres. That was a fun time. But Sanchez, obviously on the newer tyres, Uber on the old tyres. Obviously he pitted once, so they have gone a great distance, but he had damage, so he had to pit. So obviously he changed the tyres. But he has gone to the end on them tyres. He's only pitted 2 laps into the race, which is going to affect his pace from Sanchez, who is sizing up a move and will try to get past him eventually. Hopefully he doesn't try too hard and spin, as he does lose the rear end slightly, as Mosh gets another time penalty. But Uber is still leading. Uber has advantage coming out of that corner. So if Sanchez wants to make a move, it has to be before that corner. Liam is also sizing up a move on Mosh, but I don't believe he's close enough to make a move. He isn't. So we'll stick aboard with Sanchez for the minute, but we'll keep an eye on Liam's time delta to Mosh, obviously, to see when he's trying to make a move. He's not closing in dramatically to Mosh.
I liked and subscribed. Take back those penalties from Mosher. Emoji rolling on the floor laughing. Emoji rolling on the floor laughing. Emoji face with symbols on mouth. Emoji face with symbols on mouth.
He looked to make the move there into that corner, the unknown corner, because I don't know the name of it. But he doesn't. He thinks better of it, pulls back, and I'll see what I can do about getting rid of the Mosh's penalties. But so far, Uber is managing to make these tyres, considering the age of them, work very well. He is still ahead of Sanchez, and Mosh also still ahead of Neil, as the gap has closed to nearly less than 1/1000th of a second. But obviously Mosh gaining slightly on the straights. These two are very close together now. Is one of these going to spin? Is Mosh going to feel the pressure? Is Liam going to feel... Or is Liam going to overpressure him and cause himself to make a mistake? It's going to be interesting to see, as Liam looks like he's trying to get a better exit. The question is, did he? Will Liam get him at the end of the straight? As he's falling back slowly, he's catching... The time delta was very misconfusion. He sends it, and he's got some wing damage. That's going to slow him down massively. I don't know if Mosh got any diffuser damage from that, but Liam definitely has the wing damage. I think his head just got too hot trying to overtake for so long. But he is definitely falling back now. Will Sanchez do the same thing? Will Sanchez send it into turn 1? We're unaware of what we'll do, but Neil Moser has gone and started the last lap of the British Grand Prix for the Tier 2 Championship here at OBF1. Will these drivers spin on these 25 lap old wets? Will Sanchez get past Ube on their newer tyres? If he is, he wants to create a gap, a 2-second gap as well, so he has to get past now. As we have car that's spun in sector 3, I believe that was Aeon Blades. Or maybe just lost a bit of traction going slowly. But it looks like things will end this way, and penalties will cause and choose the deciding final positions of this race. So it's been a great race here in Britain as we come now down to the last final corners. We'll watch Neil, as he hasn't won for a while here in OBF1. He's going to cross the line in P1, time penalties allowing. He's going to finish in P1 as well. So by the looks of it, it is Neil Moser finishing this race in P1. His teammate James finishing his second. So it's a 1-2 for McLaren here at Silverstone. Mank finishing in third. Ube still under pressure from Sanchez as we come into these final corners. But it looks like unless Ube can make a mistake in this final corner, Sanchez will get P5. Ube will get P4. Mosh next across the line. Obviously, Liam nowhere near him with that wing damage. So there's only a 6-second gap. So Liam can still get P6. But Mosh does cross the line in P6. Liam looks like he will get the jump on Mosh. He will. That's P6 for Mosh. Aeon gets the jump on both of them. Aeon Blades into P6. Kenna next across the line. Still got his front wing intact. Oh, he spun. Kenna's spun. There's a massive battle here between Team Red and Super Calgon. Super Calgon will cross the line in P9. Team Red will jump him with the time penalties. Team Red P9. Super Calgon P10. That was a great race here in OBF1. That is it for Silverstone. Stay in tune with us.
Just did not have the pace.
It is difficult in the wet race though, so fair play for you for going the whole race though. But that is it for us in OBF1. Stay tuned for the Tier 1 race in about 15 minutes. As McLaren celebrate their victory on the podium. So Mank P3. I don't think I would have predicted this finish, you know. It was great from both drivers. Well, all three drivers to go to the end on the same tyre that they started. I don't think I'd be able to do that. I would have spun. So fair play to them. It was great to see, and you know you love to see it. I'm gonna that group, so it's there. So that is it for us tonight. Not tonight, but for the Tier 2 Championship. It was a great race. Congratulations to Neil Moser, James and Mank for finishing on the podium. Congratulations to the other drivers for finishing in this difficult race. And also, Neil Moser with the fastest lap as well. It was a great race. You love to see it. But that is it from us. I'll see you next week.